In this special episode, we are covering a mix of new game announcements and titles that have been on our radar for a while. But they all share one thing in common. You can play their demos right now during Steam Next Fest, so get your wishlists ready. If you are a fan of Farever skies or Aloft, chances are that ATMOSFAR is your favorite Steam Next Fest pick this time around. You explore Tychos, a planet made of drifting islands high above the clouds. For once, you don't arrive by stereotypically crashing on the planet. What a surprise! At the center of it all is the Cloud Cruiser, a massive flying headquarter and your base of operation. And since these floating islands are difficult to explore by foot, you also have small, customizable flyers called Wasps at your disposal. They let you scout biomes, deploy mobile camps, or haul scrap back to your base. As Tychos was once used as an outpost for humanity, you will find plenty of old tech you can repurpose for your own machinery, and maybe even the reason behind why they're gone in the first place. With the gathered scrap, you can expand your base, improve navigation systems, and turn it into a roaming workshop for you and your team. There is co-op for up to 4 people, and it feels like one of those games where everyone finds something fun to contribute to the team. This isn't one of these typical survival games, where we constantly juggle hunger, thirst, and whatnot. And although there are hazards like harsh weather and hostile creatures, the whole experience leans way more into a road or sky trip with friends than constant survival. If you prefer games similar to Torchlight or Enshrouded, Farever might be worth a look. This co-op action RPG throws you into a colorful fantasy world, not as heroes, oh no, but as everyday adventurers. Talking about reality check. You get to pick one of 10 classes, although the demo currently only has 4, and each is built around distinct mechanics and playstyles. Combine these with tons of different armors, weapons and skills, and you get a adventure that's truly your own. There are also different crafting and gathering professions to tie into that, from forging weapons and armors to brewing potions and cooking delicious meals. Co-op is available for up to 4 people, and also highly encouraged, especially for combat. Because instead of just picking offensive options, you can also choose a more defensive or even supportive playstyle. Or go full hybrid and try to save wherever Greg messes up again. The world is full of dungeons and different looking biomes and monsters, with exploration that is not just very vertical, but also playful. At least we hope so. Those flying squirrels are doing this for fun, aren't they? Well, I guess we have to find out ourselves. Fantastic pals and where to find them could be the work-in-progress title of Witchspire. Imagine Pal World set in the Harry Potter universe. Once Newt Scamander puts an end to pal cruelty, it takes the usual survival formula and runs it through a spellbook. You play as novice witches or wizards, pulled into a magical world that has been corrupted. Your goal? Free the land from corruption, uncovering what went wrong and hopefully find a way back home. Or maybe not. Creatures are more than enemies. If you defeat them, you sometimes get a chance to collect their spirits and bond them into companions that fight for you. They also assist with crafting and help power your base with organic hamster wheel energy. Or rather baby buffalo wheel energy, I guess. But instead of letting them do all the work, you can also do a lot yourself. You got magic after all. Use spectral tools to clear entire forests, regrow trees instantly, or send enchanted pickaxes mining while you explore. Movement is just as playful. Broom flights between floating islands, short-range blinks in combat, and even an astral projection to plan your base from above. You can explore the fully handcrafted world together in teams of up to 4 players. So if you always wanted to form a small coven, your time has come. For the strategists among you, we have Atre, Dominance Wars. If you think of Heroes of Might and Magic or Age of Wonders, you pretty much know what you're getting. But for the newcomers among you, a short introduction. Atre is a hybrid of 4X strategy, real-time battles and god game mechanics, where you don't just lead an empire, but become its immortal ruler. You play as an elder, a sorcerer who sacrificed their mortal body and almost ascended to godhood. Talk about ambitious. The world itself is as unstable as your persona, constantly fusing and fracturing entire regions. Now, your task is to expand across this shifting realm, capturing cities, raise magical monoliths, and decide whether to stabilize the world or exploit the chaos and ascend even further. Empire management combines research and city development with magical influence. Armies can be mutated into stronger forms, with artifacts that change playstyles and spells that can alter the entire battlefield. Each map is procedurally influenced by your choices, altering events and factions differently every run. There will be a single-player campaign, online co-op and PvP, while the demo already lets you play the prologue and skirmish mode. Romestead drops you into the ruins of ancient Rome. The city has fallen to time, and the citizens to a plague that turned them into reanimated husks known as the Fallen. And what looks a bit like a Roman Project Zomboid with a splash of Core Keeper also plays like it. During daylight, you expand a smaller shelter into a functional settlement, recruit survivors and assign them to farms, smithies or workshops. As your production chains grow, you unlock new structures, and soon you're not just surviving, you're rebuilding an empire. Maybe not Rome, but something else instead. See what I did there? But your cozy town building shifts to survival after sunset. You grab whatever is nearby, rocks, lumber, crafted weapons, and fend off waves of enemies while hoping that your defenses hold. The map offers 6 procedurally generated biomes with dungeons and bosses that drop rare loot. Restored Roman gods offer different skill trees and buffs in exchange for offerings. It supports co-op for up to 8 players in a shared world with easy drop-in, drop-out sessions. Darkhaven is easily one of our most anticipated entries on this list. Not just because we like Diablo, but also because destructible environments in ARPGs sound illegally fun. This one is still very fresh, and if you are regularly watching our news format, you already know what to expect. For everyone else, don't feel left out. Consider subscribing and be part of our awesome community as well. But here is a short recap. Darkhaven is developed by ex-Diablo 1 and 2 developers, a game that brings back what made those early games so special. True multiplayer, a loot system with playstyle-altering items, dungeons that actually feel interesting, and combat that isn't just about spamming skills on cooldown. Darkhaven also scraps old-school hallway dungeons and gives us open maps with verticality instead. On top of that, we get a fully deformable world, similar to Enshrouded. You can dig tunnels, smash straight into fortresses with no doors, drain lakes to uncover sunken ruins, or build bridges over lava. And all that effort stays, with persistent online worlds that keep the state of the game when you log off. And the friends you share a world with can continue, even when you need to leave. You can choose between solo play, co-op, or even PvP-enabled rounds. It's been ages since we talked about Crosswind. So long in fact that they renamed the game to Windrose in the meantime. Now, Crosswind is the wind blowing sideways, in contrast to tailwinds or headwinds. Meanwhile, a windrose is a polar diagram showing the orientation of the cardinal directions on a compass. Neither of these have much to do with the game itself, other than being handy for naval navigation. But hey, the more you know, right? Back to the actual game. If you like pirate settings or survival, you will love this. You play in the age of piracy, where revenge against Blackbeard is only the beginning. What starts as a fairly grounded survival setup with gathering resources, crafting gear and securing a ship gradually opens into conflicts with pirate factions and something far less historically accurate lurking beneath the waves. At least we hope it isn't accurate. Combat is a mix of close range and firearms, with parries, dodges and timing. At sea, you sail on customizable ships with various options for speed and firepower. Allegedly, up to 4 players can now crew a ship together in co-op, which didn't work when we last played, so we are looking forward to that. We have reached Inception level of game mashups at this point. So, if you liked ATMOSFAR and Witchspire, but only have time for one demo, why not try Guardians of the Wild Sky? The game takes survival crafting to higher altitudes, letting you explore a world of floating biomes connected by vast cloud seas. Your main means of travel is a customizable airship, which doubles as transport, storage, and eventually a flying homestead. Creatures called Guardians are the center of progression. These elemental beasts aren't just for combat, as they also have distinct traits and personalities. You can tame them, feed and raise them to strengthen bonds, and even breed them for specific characteristics. And while you aren't on a journey to be the very best like no one ever was, you farm resources, craft weapons and tools, and expand your airborne base. The multiplayer supports up to 5 players, letting you crew a shared airship, divide tasks, and tame guardians together. Sea of Thieves with cowboys and ghosts. Got your attention? Good. Far Far West is a co-op shooter in a supernatural Wild West spin-off. You play as robot cowboys, riding a ghost train into cursed deserts, haunted mines, and boss fights against things like giant spectral locomotives. I never imagined saying all these words in one sentence, but here we are. The game is designed around short and fun missions. Grab a bounty, drop into an open zone, and blast undeads with revolvers or spells. After surviving waves and bosses, you extract and return to town to upgrade guns, perks, and your robo-cowboy's look, of course. It offers co-op for up to 4 players and is strictly PvE. And if that was all way too much PvE for your taste, how about Arkheron? Here, 45 players get thrown into a towering structure with one simple goal: climb. In practice, that means fighting through monsters, rivaling teams, and a constantly shifting arena that narrows toward a final showdown at the summit. You enter in groups of 3, scavenging relics scattered across each floor. These items define your build mid-match. Combine mismatched pieces for unstable but powerful synergies, or complete full sets to transform into so-called Eternals, gaining access to unique, high-impact abilities. Every run reshuffles loot and encounter flow, keeping things fresh. Combat plays out from an isometric view, with free aiming, so if you hope for auto-targeting, we need to disappoint you. The vertical level design adds to the tension, because if you're too slow, you will get overwhelmed by the abyss creeping upwards. Do you like hero shooters, but crave something different than Marvel Rivals or Overwatch? Maybe Fate Trigger can scratch that itch for you. Or pull the trigger? You are being dropped into floating arenas, with punny names like the Helix Arena, for fast tactical firefights in polished anime style. And there is no shortage of different modes available. You can go solo, in duos, or even 8v8 team deathmatches, or 100-player battle royale modes. You play as Awakeners, elite fighters bonded to the ancient tech that grants special abilities. Gunplay is layered with mobility skills, cool ultimates, and flexible gun chip systems that can modify weapons in surprising ways, even letting bullets heal teammates. Finally, a good use for your bad aim. There are different roles ranging from assault to support or defense, encouraging clever team compositions and tactical play rather than blind shootouts. But that's it for this one. Which entry did you like the most? Let us know in the comments. And if the video helped you decide on what to play during Steam Next Fest, be sure to press the like button on this video to help support our channel. Enjoy all the nice demos out there with your favorite people, and we will see you in the next one.